You are about to listen to Entities, written by Diego Maenza, narrated by Ian A. Miller. Family History. All my life I have suffered because of my physical appearance. It has been a curse that I have endured since my childhood, and so ashamed have I been that I have rarely left my home. I am afraid that people will look at me. I dread it. It makes me tremble. Some kind doctor once diagnosed me with agoraphobia, but I knew that that mild struggle was a minor tickle compared to my actual condition. I can't stand people looking at me. I feel stigmatized. As a result of my deformities, I have become a dishonor to my family, which has been the cause of my misfortune and deepest traumas. I must stress, I am the embarrassment of my family. I am the black sheep of my genealogical tree, not because of my actions, but because of the way I am. To give you an idea, my arms are disproportionate to my body, because they are not at the height that would be considered normal. My head is too big. Oh, but my father's cranial cavity was perfect. It was the pride of his career after becoming a much-recognized public figure in almost the entire nation. Women stared and marveled at him. They went crazy at his presence. The effect he caused within them was almost devastating. I'm not exaggerating when I say that upon catching a glimpse of my father as he walked by, they came out in goosebumps, but by hugging their husbands closer and sweet-talking to them, they hid the fact that deep down they were moaning with pleasure. I was born with very little hair. Still, my mother loved me. A mother will always love her children, no matter how deformed they are. It infuriates me that I have such a meagre head of hair. My mother's hair, in contrast, was generous, dense, like an untouched jungle, and she showed it off shamelessly every weekend, moving in time to the rhythmic sound of some cabaret music. She always won the sincere applause of the masculine half of the audience, who were hypnotized by her sensual movements. The little hair I have, on the other hand, is dull, and it pains me not to have inherited my mother's beautiful hair. I never knew my grandmother, but my mother always told me that she had a special, loving and hypnotic look. As if telling me some forbidden legend, she whispered secretly to me that there was no man who could resist her imposing gaze. About my grandfather, however, she would tell me fascinating stories out loud of the artisan wonders he made with his fantastical arms. He was a fully-fledged artist. Sometimes I fell in love, several times with two girls at the same time, but my distorted attempts at showing it were never picked up, and so I concluded that those beautiful girls never noticed me because of my disfigurement. I have uncles and cousins who were born with their organs in the correct position, none of them with my shortcomings. I look at the family album with nostalgia and pride. There was a photo of my father in the Birmingham Circus, with a beautiful tiny head devoid of hair, except for a few fine golden strands adorning his microcephalus like a rising sun, and with his albino newborn eyelashes. A little less, and he would have been born completely bald, handsome like no other. The photo of my mother showed her with skin covered in brown hair, her downy neck like a matriarchal lioness, and her woolly arms like an Angora rabbit. The photographer captured her at her best, most radiant, when her body hair covered her entire anatomy, and nobody was allowed to overshadow her luminous show nights as a werewolf. I was captivated by the photo of my grandfather. If he were alive today, he would hug me with his 6-inch upper limbs and his minuscule fingers, which had transformed into crippled stumps. And I know that he would hug me, despite feeling embarrassed at the thought of my perfectly proportioned arms. My grandmother, with her one eye in the middle of her forehead, would have shed a stream of tears if she had met me at birth, when she noticed my two perfectly aligned hazel-colored eyes. But my mother would have always loved me, despite me having this horrible smooth skin. I was born like
Sample complete. Ready to continue?